Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door. In as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
TuneIn is the audio platform with something for everyone. News.
In order to secure convictions in a court of law, it is essential that we conclusively.
Sports.
Shot clock at 4. Doncic. The step back 3. You bet.
Music.
You set my world on fire. Yes,
and even podcasts. Whatever you love, hear it right here on TuneIn. Go to TuneIn.com or download the TuneIn app to start listening.
Are you ready? You want the noise brought on you? Because here it comes.
What?
The noise brought on you, because here it comes.
This is my job.
Showtime.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Is this show getting more and more difficult for you to do?
That's gotta be it.
Jeff Lutz.
This isn't that hard.
There are so many great things to do with the human mouth. Why waste it on talking?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
All right, welcome back. It's hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Last night, the Boston Celtics left no doubt about who was going to win Game 1. Jumped on Dallas early and often on the way to a 107-89 win over the Dallas Mavericks. We waited a long time to get to Game 1, and that was a dud. Is this series going to amount to anything?
I'm not going to read too much into that. Game 1 after a really, really long layoff. Obviously, Boston looked a lot better. Dallas didn't do a whole lot. But
Kyrie Irving was terrible.
Somebody's going to be flat. Somebody's not going to be. I don't put any stock in that.
The NBA is so interesting to me, and not necessarily always in a good way. So we get to the finals, and we have no inside the NBA, which is basically one of the things that draws me.
Well, because they're not on TNT.
And these ESPN guys got about a minute and a half last night at halftime to talk about the game.
Who's even on that crew?
Stephen A. Smith.
Not Jalen, because he was...
Michaela, what's her name?
Packing.
Who?
Jalen. He's been sent packing a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know where Jalen.
Just an absolute travesty of justice.
But anyway, now we've got negotiations underway for the TV rights, and we're potentially gonna lose inside the NBA. What are they thinking? Don't they realize that's probably their number one property? That's probably the number one best thing about the NBA TV package.
Yeah, probably
better than the games.
A lot of times, sure.
Nobody's ever said that about a studio show.
But if you get money, that's money. You have money. It's in your hand. It's guaranteed. And if they can get the most money without inside the NBA, then they're going to do it.
Then they're slapping the faces of the public.
Right. Not very many organizations anymore of that amount of. Is there a verb?
What are you trying to say?
Is there a verb for lucrativity? A noun?
No.
Lucrativity? Is that not a word?
Not a word.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a noun for lucrative?
Yeah, lucrative.
That's an adjective.
Lucrative nature.
But very few of them have their fans' best interests in mind.
Well, they should. By the way, part of my personal life, one of my classmates is over here today helping my wife with plants, potting plants and doing all that. a woman I went to school with from the time I was in grade school.
Well, that's exciting.
It is exciting. I hadn't seen her in years.
How are they getting along?
They're wonderful friends.
They are?
Yes.
Already?
Well, they've met.
You said you hadn't seen her in years.
I hadn't seen her.
Why is she?
Because my wife struck up a friendship with her.
Okay. When?
She runs an antique store in Derby.
That's beautiful.
And has for years. And is extremely talented. And her name's Raji. And I've known her basically my entire life.
So that's a beautiful,
Isn't that something?
Serendipitous.
You don't even have anything to say about it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
If I told anybody else in the world that story, they'd
What would
be
they say?
glowing.
What would Jason Duda say?
Wow, that's cool.
He would?
Sure he would.
Well, I said a lot of stuff. I said it's lovely, it's an amazing story, it's serendipitous.
Yeah, but do you mean it?
Of course.
Did you introduce yourself?
No.
To Raji.
I'm shy. You know this.
Did you see her?
Barely.
But you didn't ask my. I mean,
no, I didn't. That's not none of my business. You don't just go up to people if they want to,
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm Bob's son. How are you? I haven't met. Ask a question or two.
Makes me kind of nervous.
That's all you got to do. Just ask a question or two.
Really?
She lived on North Kokomo. I lived on North Baltimore.
Yeah, you lived on Baltimore Street.
We lived about 4 blocks from one another.
Baltimore Street is a mecca in Derby now. It's everywhere.
It goes from north to south.
Yeah.
My little neck of the woods was in the 1000 block of North Baltimore. You spent some time
1000
there
or 1000?
As a very young 1000.
You guys were nuts. Didn't know how to count numbers, didn't know how to dial phones.
We lived in the 1000 block, and right in the middle of the block. So everything that went on in the block, I was aware of.
Absolutely.
I was right in the middle of everything, literally.
Well, only literally.
Had a great young life there.
Right. Yeah, and I did spend some time over there.
Walked half a block to my elementary school.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, I guess.
Why don't you care more?
I didn't live that far from OK back in the day.
You didn't live that close.
I mean, when we moved to the west side.
You didn't live that close. You had to. You could have walked, but and you did walk some, but it wasn't a half a block.
Was 5th grade the first year of Bella Vista?
I don't know. I didn't write it down. What do you think? I kept a diary?
Well, when did you move there?
I don't care when you. 1994.
94. Yeah, so I was probably in 5th grade or 6th, but maybe 5th.
Yeah, I think 5th grade.
93, 94 was my 5th grade year.
Yeah, I moved there in the winter of 94.
The winter as in December or as in January?
I don't know when it was. I just found a house I liked. I bought it, and the rest is history.
It's a good house. Treated us well.
We had a nice time over there, but I've been here now 18 years in the West Wichita basement studio.
It's insane.
I'm so comfortable here. Every time I think, man, we should sell this house and downsize a little bit and get rid of some of these 75-inch TVs that we own.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Am I going to turn out like you?
Wouldn't that be great if you did?
Man.
How did I turn out?
I don't know.
Don't you admire me in some ways?
Like what? Like what ways?
Like the way I am. Don't you admire that I can get on a radio show at the age of 69 and just let it fly? Without seemingly having any self-consciousness or even much self-awareness. Don't you admire that?
It's fine.
I have to believe the listeners like it.
Sure. Some of the older ones probably do.
They don't like the way you just are in here by the book. Yes, I believe that's true.
Yeah, that's me.
I think that did happen. I mean, nobody wants to listen to that.
That's so me. Do it again.
Yes,
Uncanny.
I totally believe it.
Is that a recording of me?
Yes, that's
Wow.
how you sound.
That's amazing.
Meanwhile, I'm over here it's improv every day. I might as well be, who's that guy? Ryan,
Stiles?
yeah.
Why are you thinking of him?
Because he's an improv guy, I think.
He's one of them.
Drew Carey.
Colin Mockery.
That was a good show.
Wayne Brady, and then whoever else is the fourth
That was
person.
a good show.
It's still on.
On what? What's it on?
CW, maybe? Alicia Tyler is the host.
Who's still on it?
Everybody.
Ryan, what's his name?
Yeah, Stiles, Mockery, and Wayne Brady. They're all still on it. Last I checked.
Well, there's nothing better than improv.
It's quite the statement.
In my opinion.
There's nothing better? What about a cheeseburger?
No, I like improv for comedy.
Okay, because you like, whose line is it
Because
anyway?
That's genuinely funny people doing funny things. They're not writing their jokes. They're not testing
What
them
other
out.
improv do you have experience with?
Me. This show.
Okay, go for it.
I'm doing it right now.
This is you being funny.
This is me being funny.
Wow. You should be in a troupe.
I should be.
Well, go do it.
Somebody should call me.
No, you got to go pursue
Because
that yourself.
This unleashes. I'm going to tell you right now, I can relate to the people who say they have multiple personalities. Because I think I do.
No, you don't.
And on this radio show, this is a personality rarely seen.
You have a personality.
Or heard. Outside of
and it's
these
always
2 hours.
volatile.
Why do you say that?
Because it is. You're an up and down guy. That's your personality.
That's what'll be in my obit?
I doubt it.
Is that what you'll say? Hey, Jeff, we'd like
Sure,
a
probably,
comment
yeah.
from you about your dad. How
No,
was he?
comment?
Oh, volatile. Volatile. Just always up and down. Thanks a lot. You know what I'll call you from wherever I am?
You aren't proud of that, in a way?
You know what I'll call you?
No.
You know, it starts with an A.
What does it end with?
An E.
What's in the middle?
You know what it ends with.
Soul. Can I say that?
What would you say?
About you? Here's
Hey,
what
Jeff, this is so-and-so from the Wichita Eagle. We need a comment from you.
This isn't my comment, but here's what I've discovered about our relationship. Not necessarily currently, but maybe the reason why it didn't take off the way we hoped it would.
What do you mean it didn't take off?
You know, a little combative relationship, kind of hot and cold. Here's why that is.
Because you're completely unlike me.
Because we always chose to see the worst in each other.
What?
Yeah, I think that's true.
I didn't choose to see the worst.
You did.
No, I didn't.
If I go 3 for 4, you talk about my out. If I get straight A's, you talk about my B.
Well, then you didn't get straight A's.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking
You kind
about.
of picked on the negative, right? You kind of chose to hone in on the negative.
Well, that's a terrible.
And then in response, I kind of honed in on, well, this guy's kind of nuts, and this guy's kind of mean, and then we only saw the worst.
So you're gonna that's gonna be your quote?
No, I told you that's not my quote.
They're gonna hear that, and they're gonna say, well, on a radio show on 6/7/2024 that we got our hands on, you basically said your dad was an A. You know what?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
So what's your quote?
I don't know yet. Won't I write the obituary? Do you want it to be a warts and all obituary, or do you want me to just speak in glowing terms?
You're gonna write a warts and all
I'm
obituary.
asking you.
What
do you prefer?
You're literally gonna bury me as you bury me.
I didn't say that.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't say that.
Well, you're gonna write a warts and all.
No, I asked if that's what you want.
A warts and all. Who wants that?
I think I do.
So I'll write about that one time in 4 that you didn't get a hit.
Right.
And how upset it made me.
I know.
Which never happened.
Of course it did.
No. If you went 3 for 4, we were good.
Ask anybody.
Ask anybody. Please.
But I think we need to, as the years go on, positive. Focus on the positives. Right?
What do you mean focus on the positive?
Just, hey, I'm a good guy, you're a good guy. If I do something wrong, it doesn't define my entire personality.
Well, what have you done wrong?
If you do something that I don't agree with, it doesn't define your entire personality or our relationship or anything like that.
I don't even understand where you're coming from.
You don't?
No, not really.
Well, I think that's
because
a reason.
I think you've created a scenario in your mind.
No, I think it's true.
That
you think I just came up with this now?
That is a pretty good narrative and may be able to explain some things, but may not be all the way factual. So
it's as close.
That's certainly been known to happen.
Not really.
People in their lives.
No, I think I'm onto something.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, I don't think it's a good thing.
I think it's in the past.
I think I've been as positive about your positives as any other parent.
Okay.
Would be.
Okay.
I mean, that's what parents do.
Okay. Then maybe I'm not onto something.
And they want their kids to strive to be.
But I don't see it as a bad thing. I think when you recognize things that, may or may not be true, then you can grow from there.
I don't know I honestly don't even really know what you're getting at.
Really?
Not really.
I think I've put it pretty well.
It doesn't seem.
Well, I don't hold anything against you.
It doesn't seem factual to me.
Okay.
There's nothing to hold against me.
Okay.
You're on a search for something.
No,
I know you are.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're on a search for something.
No, I'm not. I'm always thinking about stuff.
You're on a search for reasons and.
There's no reasons.
And explanations and.
I think everyone should be on a search at all times.
I'm not.
Why?
Because I'm almost 70. There's no more reasons or explanations.
That's not a way. That's not a good way to live life.
There's just this is what it is.
That's not a good way to live.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
At some point, you stop the search.
You shouldn't.
You call them off.
Should never stop.
You bring the dogs home.
Should never stop growing.
Are you growing?
Yeah.
Okay. If this is growing, then good for you.
I always want to grow. It doesn't always happen. But I don't know. I think thinking about things, whether you're on to you draw the correct conclusions or not, I think it's healthy.
I'm not even really sure what this last 5 minutes has been about.
I think it's healthy. Healthy to take stock of your own life.
I guess.
That's all. No biggie.
I mean, I don't dwell on it. If I dwell on taking stock,
well, I do. I'm
going to have. I'm not going to be able to function.
Why?
Cause.
Well, I'm a take
stock guy. You get bogged down.
I'm a take stock guy, for better or worse.
I don't want to get bogged down. Does that make sense? I'm not a bogged down kind of guy.
Okay.
I am a take a break kind of guy, which we need to do.
We do?
We've got an interview left in the show today that will end this show and this week on. Jimmie James, who's written about playing the 100 greatest golf courses. He will join us at around 3:40 today. You're listening to Bob and Jeff on KFH.
Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door. In as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
TuneIn is the audio platform with something for everyone. News.
In order to secure convictions in a court of law, it is essential that we conclusively.
Sports.
Shot clock at 4. Doncic. The step back 3. You bet.
Music.
You set my world on fire. Yes,
and even podcasts. Whatever you love, hear it right here on TuneIn. Go to TuneIn.com or download the TuneIn app to start listening.
This is what happens as you get older. 30 years seems like a long time ago.
89.
I mean, is that crazy? 35 years ago.
Yeah, July 1989. In Canada, December 1989 in the U.S. It was released at different times in different countries.
I live in the U.S.
Well, then it was released.
I don't care when it was released in Canada. I wasn't in Canada to hear it.
She is Canadian, so it's
whether
going
or
to be
not
released
she's Canadian
in
matters.
her home country first.
Well, that makes sense. If I was Canadian, I'd want what I released.
What do you think the highest chart position was?
It got into the top 10.
Yeah, it got all the way into the top.
Are you gonna let me answer?
Sure.
You got to number 3.
Number 1.
That's why it played so often.
For 2 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
And I don't know that Atlanta Miles did a whole lot other than that song.
The B-side to that song, of course, was If You Want To.
Don't know it. Did that do anything?
No. Let me see if she had another charting.
I think you would regard Atlanta Miles as a one-hit wonder.
Well, let me see if she had another song that charted in the U.S. Number 36, Love Is. And that's the only other one.
I would, again.
In Canada, she had several hits.
I don't live in Canada.
Just telling you, she does.
And what she does in Canada stays in Canada almost literally.
You know the song Lover of Mine?
No.
I got to number 2 in Canada.
By Atlanta Miles?
Yes.
How'd it do here?
It didn't chart.
Wonder why.
Got to number 16 in Finland.
I could hum and it'd get to 16 in Finland.
Oh, I think you should put that out then.
Seriously.
Have
you heard the music that's popular in Finland?
Well, the song Instead of a Kiss, number 1 in Canada, number 12 in Finland. She was big in Finland. 4 top 20 hits in Finland.
I don't think Tony would mind. I want to thank Sam Siebert at the Home Depot. They've agreed to help with some work in the Jackie Robinson Pavilion in terms of adding some shrubbery, doing some cleaning up over there, just making the place look nicer as we prepare to
unveil the new
statue. And on Monday, after I dot a few more I's and cross just a couple more T's, I'll let everybody know the exact date of that happening.
All right.
I've already let some people know.
Why don't you just let me know? Just whisper it in my ear right now.
I'm still a little nervous about it. I'm not really, because it's kind of been a date directed to me by Major League Baseball. But I'm just a tad nervous.
What kind of Major League Baseball reps are going to be out here?
Well, they're sending a contingent.
Some people we might have heard of?
And when I say a contingent, that means what?
That means
more than a couple.
Yeah.
It means they're flying in.
I'm going to have a conversation with some of those people.
Why?
Why not?
What would you possibly say? Give me an example. They're flying in for a Jackie Robinson statue unveiling, and they're coming over there to McAdams Park.
Are we talking about any former big leaguers?
I don't know, but what would you possibly say?
Well, hello, Mr.
You would?
I have some things I need to discuss with you.
What would you discuss?
How come in the you weren't
So you want to talk to C.C. Sabathia?
Is he coming?
Is that what you're indicating?
Maybe.
He's one of the names that's been mentioned. Nothing has been finalized.
All right.
But it'll be a big deal.
Sure will.
It'll be a big deal nationally. It'll be a big deal. And then I hope after that, everyone can kind of go on and we learn from this statue theft, and we go on and continue to run a youth baseball organization. These past, what is it now?
6 months almost.
No, January, not even 5 months, 4.5 months have been unlike any that I've ever lived through, in good and bad ways. If I were to write a book, this would consume a lot of it.
This might be the whole book.
It might be the whole book, because I've never had anything like this happen to me. Did you see the story in the Washington Post?
I did.
About the effects of Jackie Robinson and how he's still, it's just remarkable, and how he's still such a tantalizing subject all these years later that Jerry Brewer wrote. And a lot of that was devoted to the statue theft. And I appreciate Jerry, another tremendous reporting job, by the way. And the story that he wrote as a part of a series, but just unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah. You were in the Washington Post for this.
That's not what's unbelievable.
I get it.
What's unbelievable is that Jackie Robinson, and I'm so thankful that when we named this league, we had people out there smart enough to recognize that it should be named for Jackie Robinson. That didn't come from me. I wish it had. I was struggling with what to name this league. And the guy who said, name it after Jackie Robinson, and then another guy said, League 42, oh my goodness. Just fell in our laps.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
So we got the right name, and now the challenge has been to live up to Jackie's name, number, and legacy. So that's what we're trying to do on a daily basis. This is a part of your father that you just can't relate to.
That's a goal that, of course, I can relate to it. Why would I not be able to relate?
I don't know. It's like you get glassy-eyed when I talk about this stuff.
What does that mean? I don't know what glassy-eyed means.
Look up the term glassy-eyed.
I will. See what the definition of it is.
Glassy-eyed's a great description.
That's funny.
What'd you find?
Someone sent me something funny.
About me?
No.
About you?
No. It was a reference to something that was discussed earlier today.
In the show?
No.
Well, then why do I care?
Let's make glassy-eyed. I mean, I think this is how you're using it.
All right, go with it.
Having a dull, dazed, or uncomprehending expression.
Right.
I think that's what you think. So, okay, then you used it correctly. But I don't think it's necessarily accurate.
How would I not use that term correctly?
No, I think you used it correctly in the way that you meant it, but I don't think the way you meant it
You don't think it's accurate?
is accurate.
Okay, maybe not, but the way I meant it was accurate. Does that make sense?
I'm not a great reactor to serious stuff. Just not that good at that. When stuff is serious, I don't know what to say most of the time.
Listen, you either get it or you don't.
I get it, but I just don't know what to say.
Or you can either react to it or you can't.
I'd try.
And you do a fine job. How's that for positivity?
Appreciate it. See, we're learning. We're growing.
Just a great job.
You and me together.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
That's all I'm going to say from now on. Jeff, you're wonderful.
I'd like to hope so. At times.
Why would you hope so? Why wouldn't you know so?
I don't think anybody's wonderful. I think a lot of nice people.
Everybody's wonderful in their own way.
Most people.
A lot of wonderful people. We're pursuing Jimmie James to talk about his book about playing the 100 greatest golf courses in America. So we look forward to that.
Jimmie James.
Jimmie James. We don't have very long, Jimmy, so you better... Plus, he retweeted the fact that he was going to be on the show today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Things happen in life.
Is it James? James is his real name, do you think?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Maybe Jimmie James is a pseudonym of some sort.
I don't know why you'd insinuate that.
Well, because authors write books under other names.
Well, I don't know why that would even be a thought.
Because authors write books under other names.
I don't know why you'd even go there.
Because it's a possibility.
I don't know why
you're not curious if his name is James
Never
James?
thought about it.
Well, everyone else.
Jimmie James.
Yeah, James James.
Hey, Jimmy. Maybe it's not James. Here is Jimmie James. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello.
So you've written a book that everybody is talking about in the golf world for sure. It's called Playing from the Rough, A Personal Journey Through America's 100 Greatest Golf Courses. But this also has a little bit of a societal theme to it as well. So tell us a little bit about the idea for the book, what you were trying to accomplish, how you picked the golf courses, all of that stuff.
Okay, real quickly, just on the golf courses, that part's easy. I use Golf Digest 100 Greatest Golf Courses, 100 Greatest Courses in America. And I used it because the list to really truly play the top 100, you have to play all the courses while they're in the top 100. And to do it, you have to do that really in about a year. Golf Digest has a list that lasts for 2 years, and I was doing my 1 year, half of 2017, half of 2018. I didn't know most of the courses on the list I'd never heard of, but that's how I got the list, was the Golf Digest list. With the book, I wanted to tell the story because I myself was fascinated by the contrast of my life, the contrast of golf, the idea and kindness of all of the people that I met, to share some of their stories, to praise my mother for the value she instilled in us and the perseverance and the expectation of looking for kindness in everyone. And I wanted to write a book where some would come for the golf and stay for the stories. Some would come for the stories and read about golf, which is something they'd never do in just the regular course of their lives. And so
Jimmy, real quick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I also wrote it in a way that I hope that every reader is able to find a piece of themselves in the story.
I love it. So real quick, Jimmy, we were just talking, and a yes or no will do. Is your given name James James?
No, it's Jimmie, J-M-M-I-E.
Okay, good enough. So we were talking earlier also about the 100 greatest. Does that equate to the 100 most difficult? Not that you've played every course, obviously, but how challenging was the actual golf on this endeavor?
Some of the courses were extremely difficult. Not all of them were. But Pikewood National in Morgantown, West Virginia, Oakmont, Shinnecock, Pine Valley. Pine Valley, some golf courses, you'll have what people call a hole where you can sort of relax on, a let-up hole. At Pine Valley, there aren't any let-up shots. Every shot has to be precise. Get into the church pew bunkers at Oakmont, and you might as well pack a lunch. There are challenging aspects of a lot of the courses, and then some of them, like I thought Laurel Valley wasn't so hard, but there are some courses that were a lot less hard than some of those I just mentioned.
Talking with author Jimmie James. Playing from the Rough is the name of his new book. You had a challenging upbringing, raised by a single mother. You're an African-American man. You spent 33 years working at ExxonMobil, retired at the age of 58. So an incredibly interesting life you have led. Tell us what you learned about, maybe some have learned about yourself in this journey on America's 100 greatest golf courses. But what did you learn about America?
I learned that America is still a place where people will help other people achieve their dreams. I learned that America is a place that's still filled with challenges. We're not perfect, but the only way we're going to become more perfect is that each of us does our part to make it a better country. I think back to what President Kennedy said in the early 60s, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I put that into ask not what problems your government can solve for you, but what problems can you solve for your country? That if each of us every day thought about what we can do to make our country a better country and how to work together to do that, that I think we would be more successful at creating a more perfect union.
And before we let you go, and I'm sorry our time is running out because this is a fascinating book that you've written, but I'm curious as a golfer, where did you play your best round of golf? Not necessarily your best score, but where did you play your best round of golf, and where did you play your worst?
My best round of golf was at Monterey Peninsula Shores course, and it was also my best score. It was, we talk about it today about being in the zone. There was a guy, a Hungarian psychologist, wrote a book. His name is Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, called Flow. And in Flow, it's where the mental part of you and the physical part of you, the boundary between the two just collapses. And you do everything you want to do the way you want to do it without even thinking about it. And that day, I was just swinging, and the ball was going exactly where I wanted it to go. And I shot a 76. I found my flow that day. My worst round and most challenging was Pikewood National in Morgantown, West Virginia. Playing the shortest tees were 7,100 yards with fairways bordered with 6 inches of Kentucky bluegrass rough and the same around the greens. There was no first cut. You missed by an inch, you could have trouble finding your ball. I shot a brutal 105 at Pikewood, highest score of the entire Odyssey.
And if you're like most golfers, those are the 2 rounds you'll probably always remember, right? The best and the worst.
Yes, I'll always remember those 2.
Well, Jimmie, thank you so much for coming on. It's a great idea you had to write this, and I'm glad you expanded your thoughts beyond just the playing of golf. Jimmie James, Playing from the Rough, his new book, The 100 Greatest Golf Courses in America. Thank you, Jimmie.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
You bet. All right, good stuff. I could talk to him for forever about that.
I could have too, but I got one question in. So.
Well, maybe we'll get with Jimmie again sometime.
That'd be beautiful.
Because fascinating. That fascinates me. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've come to the end of the week. Have a good weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. See you then.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
TuneIn is the audio platform with something for everyone. News.
In order to secure convictions in a court of law, it is essential that we conclusively.
Sports.
Shot clock at 4. Doncic. The step back 3. You bet.
Music.
You set my world on fire. Yes,
and even podcasts. Whatever you love, hear it right here on TuneIn. Go to TuneIn.com or download the TuneIn app to start listening.
It's a great day to venture out in a spacious and capable Toyota SUV. Like the new RAV4, With available all-wheel drive, it can go just about anywhere. And with plenty of passenger and cargo space, you'll go from morning carpool to weekend road trip without missing a beat. Plus, with available features like wireless charging and a touchscreen interface, your Toyota RAV4 will keep you connected no matter where you're going. Or check out a spacious Highlander. With seating for up to 8, it's a hub for family adventure. You'll drive in comfort and style with available heated and ventilated seats and all the latest tech. And with available hybrid models, your new Highlander can save you tons on gas. Right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a RAV4 or Highlander today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.